sometimes there's so many damn good artists at the same time that somebody's got to lose out. It just happens that way. It's like being on a good team. It doesn't matter how good you are. There's so many good players on the team. You have to do battle. You got to compete. And sometimes it's all about who's behind you, who's putting what into you, this, that, and other. And sometimes, unfortunately, you don't make the team just on your own skills. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's about who you know and about who's pouring what into you and this, that, and the other. So I believe that sometimes artists like this, they end up not being what they could have been because there was so much at the time. There was so much at the time that they could only put their money behind so many. Some people had to suffer because of it. Brothers and sisters, aunties, uncles, and play cousins. What's good, old head family? It's your boy, Mr. Michael. Hey, this one today, this one is for y'all know, Facebook, YouTube, go back, but this one is for the Country Wayne fans. So everybody, you got to basically be under a rock, under the ground, under the roots of the trees that are under the ground. Like, you got to be hiding for real, to not be aware of the Country Wayne, empire that he's building. And with that, one of the most prominent figures of the Country Wayne empire, Mr. Mike Bless. Y'all often see in the Country Wayne skit, y'all often see Mike Bless singing. He recently did a little thing where they were doing the opening of Anthony and Amber's restaurant, and and he sang there, and everybody's always talking about how when he be having his moments, when he be singing, when he be sitting on the couch in his condo, or he be doing this, that, or the other. But most people, unless you're a Country Wayne fan, unless you're one of those ones that follow Country Wayne and really are one of those ones, because we have fans that just watch, and then we have fans that invest themselves. And the fans that have invested themselves probably are already aware of what I'm about to share today. But the fans that are just watchers, that just enjoy the content, and that's all they do, probably aren't aware that when he does that little singing and stuff like that, this is not a new or an unexplored sort of range for Mike Bless. Mike Bless actually was an artist. And so I hate to use that word was, because once an artist, always an artist. I don't perform anymore. I don't produce anymore. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. I still get ideas. I still jot down stuff. I still write. But I'm out of the artist scene. With that being said, I still consider myself an artist because of my love and my passion for the craft of it. That never leaves your soul. I still have moments right now where I still reminisce and dream of getting back in the studio. It never leaves. It never leaves. Once you're an artist, and now I take that back. If you're an artist that's in it for the check, yeah, once you're done, you're probably done. But if you're an artist that really genuinely loves this stuff, that never leaves your heart. You bleed that for the rest of your life. It's like even when, you hear athletes playing football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is, they say that's in your blood for life. Sometimes you literally have to go through therapy. You know what I'm saying? Athletes and artists and stuff sometimes have to go through therapy once they're removed from that environment, because that environment has become such a part of them. They don't know how to function without it. I was like that for a short period of time. When I finished making music and I got out of it, even though it was my choice to walk away, when I walked away, I kind of felt like, and every day, it's like having an addiction. I know that I'm not supposed to do this drug, but man, like Pookie, every day it just be calling me. It just be calling me, man. But anyway, let me get back to what I originally came here talking about. So Mike Bless been around for a while. Most people don't know that many years ago, that Mr. Mike Bless was actually signed to Slip and Slide. He was actually with Trick Daddy, and, he's got songs where he's featured on some of Trina's work, things like that. So he actually had an opportunity to do a thing. Now, I'm going to be transparent with you. I never got the chance to meet Mike Bless while I was in the industry. Never got a chance to shake his hand. Don't know much of his bio. I do know that he was with Slip and Slide. I know that prior to Slip and Slide, he did his underground stuff, where he kind of got into the mixtape scene, doing stuff like that before getting signed. And even, I think after that relationship dissolved, I think he did a couple of mixtapes. This could all be hypothesis. I don't know if any of this is fact, except for the fact that I know he did mixtapes and that he was signed to Slip and Slide. The dates and ranges of all of it, I don't know. And like I said, I don't know the reason of why, during that time with Trina, during that time with Trick, I don't know why he didn't blow more than he should have. Like I said, I never got a chance to meet him, so I don't know the story behind it. What I will tell you, though, is Mike actually had skills. Mike actually had skills. So I just thought it would be fun, real quick, to make an episode, because I know just recently he did like an interview where he talked about that. I know that on his Facebook profile, he recently posted an older song of his that he had done on there. But like I said, for those that aren't invested and for those that don't follow him on social media, they don't know. So my favorite song that I have from him, I'm going to put a little clip of that in here. The one that I'm about to play is the one that he featured. Just kind of helping pass along the word to the people that follow me who may not know about him. There's a whole world of people that actually don't follow Country Wayne, which I can't imagine because it's so big, but it's true. There are people that don't know about Country Wayne. So this is my opportunity to share somebody with y'all the way that y'all be sharing stuff with me. Like I said, it'll make you view Mike Bless on the skits a little differently, because now when you see him singing, you realize that this isn't just a thing that he likes to sing. Or I've seen comments on some of Country Wayne stuff where people say, "Look at Mike, think he can sing." It's like, nah, he actually did do that. And back in the day, what I'm saying, it was a little bit more expansive than that, because he didn't just sing, he sang and rapped. So like I said, he's been with other artists. He was on some of Trina's stuff. But with that said, so today we're going to check out Mike Bless' song called Gone. It's an older song while he was still signed with Slip and Slide. And then after the video goes off, if y'all stick around to the end, I'm going to play a quick, I'm not going to play the whole song, but I'm going to play a quick snippet of my favorite song by him, because I remember him from back in the day. He had a song that I thought had real fire potential. I thought that if I'm being transparent, I thought that the production needed a little bit more. I don't think that his production team actually really poured in the way that it should have to accentuate what he was bringing to the table. I don't know if that was some of the disconnect that they had, but with a little bit more production, I could imagine had he done this back in what he's doing on his older stuff, if he had been able to do it today with the technology that we have and the production that's available to the artists nowadays, I think it probably would have hit even different now than what it, than what it did back then. And I'm going to be honest with you, if I'm Mike, I might even consider trying to drop something right now. I mean, with the recent success that you've had with the Country Wayne skits, everybody's been listening to you sing on the Country Wayne skits. I might release a new project. But here go the thing. Back in the day, Mike was one of us. Mike was one of the down to earth, in the cut, hood cats. So he made, he was with Slip and Slide. So he made hood type songs. But now Mike's an older male. You know what I'm saying? He ain't old. You know what I'm saying? But he's an unk now. You know what I'm saying? I believe that if Mike was to put out a project with some good old school ballad type, older, I done grew up and matured a little bit, tributes to women, to love, to life, to all this, that, and the other. Because you know what I'm saying? If he was to put out something like that right now with the maturing that his voice has done over the years too, I think he could actually hit hard right now. I think he could hit hard right now with the way that the industry is going and everybody's doing that independent thing. You know what I'm saying? The way that Country Wayne pushes his projects through the skits. If he was to release an album, maybe him and D need to link back up in the skits. But if he was to release an album and then they actually pushed it through the skits, I think Mike could actually hit a home run with this if he was to do it again now. But anyway, I done talked enough. This episode is going to be for Mike Bless. I'm going to enjoy this. I remember this song from back in the day. I remember it. And when he posted it, I was like, oh, damn, I forgot about this. I actually had forgotten about this stuff. But so this song is called Gone. It's by Mike Bless. I hate to say Mike Bless from the Country Rain skits, but because he was around prior to that. But for y'all, Mike Bless from the Country Rain skits, my guy. You was my dude back then. You was my dude back then. I really enjoyed what I was seeing coming out of the camp. Excuse me, y'all. Let's get into it. And if y'all, have the patience to stick around to the end, please do. The song that I really enjoy, my favorite song, was called Daydreaming at Night. I like that song. I just like the construction of that song. So I hope that y'all will stay around to enjoy it on here. But you can always go. Mike Bless has his own page. It's Mike Bless TV on YouTube, and you can go scroll through some of his past work. Make sure that y'all go support it. Make sure that y'all go check it out. You're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised. And get in his comments and say, bring us a new one. Get in his comments and say, give us a new project. Give us some of that unk shit. All right. Hey, y'all, let's get into it. Mike Bless. This song is called Gone. Let's go.
This should be played at high volume.
Mind gone. Mind blown.
Hey, it's funny too, because on the Mike Bless skits, you can tell back then he was fit, but you can tell he just swole up over, you talking about 14, 15 years ago or more. You know what I'm saying? But he has swole up a little bit. He has swole up a little bit more now.
She don't know me. She ain't gotta show that body, but baby don't hurt nobody. Them hoes don't like her, cause she flyer. Pay them no mind, I'm loving your vibe. Shorty, let's slide tonight. Oh, baby girl, show me now.
He got that. He had that kind of. I ain't gonna put the two of them in the same box, but he had that Akon sort of flow on this song. The construction of this song kind of reminds you of that Akon type of construct.
I hope she can let me help her out. She try it, I buy it. She know that. You see that, you want that. Don't hold back. She got me gone. She got me gone. She got me gone. Take it on home. Bring it on around and take it on down tonight. Yeah. I bet you like it when I do that. You know I love it when you throw that, especially when you turn around. I be all talking all crazy, listening to Kelly. Half on a baby, half on a.
Hey, I'm telling you, you can hear that Akon influence in their heart. But he said, like Kelly, half on a baby.
Like I'm in it, she don't wanna live it. I'm so glad you made it. Everybody like, oh, baby girl, show me now. That's all the niggas say. Oh, she can let me help her out. She got me gone. She got me gone.
That hook is fire. Now, like I said, you might listen to it now with your 2026 ears and be like, it's okay. But if you go back to the day that came out, you know what I'm saying? Like in the early 2000s, if you go back in that day and listen to stuff like this, that you will realize that hook went hard, and the beat is. But he would Trick Daddy. You know what I'm saying? He was with Slip and Slide. You know what I'm saying? So you already know the beat was gonna be knocking.
She got me cold. She got me gone, gone. She got me gone, gone. She got me gone, gone. She got me gone. Everybody like, oh, baby girl, show me now. And all the niggas say, she can let me help her out. She got me gone. She got me gone. She got me gone.
All right. So in the video, hold on. So he's sitting there at breakfast. And I'm trying to imagine the construct of this video, what the creative process was. And like you sitting there eating your breakfast and you open up your eyes and you look up and you see this girl. So then now I'm thinking to myself, is this when you first meet the girl? And then because she was so beautiful and she got your attention, she had you imagining all that other stuff? Or in reverse is this the girl that you met doing all that other stuff? You done met at the club, y'all done slept together, y'all done had your little one night stand, she had your head gone, this, that, and the other, and then for some reason she disappeared and you couldn't find her no more. And then one day you look up and damn, there she go as a waitress at this restaurant. It's like, dang, I've been looking for you. Which one is it? Which one is it? That's what I'm saying. Like you could go both ways with the construction of this video, which actually is creative too, because it leaves you to your imagination. How do you think it played out? Hey, but yo, Mike Bless though. I understand, bro. But hey, check it out. That was Mike Bless. That was Gone. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give y'all a quick sample of. Now I don't have the video. All I have is the audio. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you a quick sample of what my favorite song by him was back then. You know, like I said, I don't know the whole archive. I'm not going to act like I was his most loyal follower back then, but I was very aware of him. So right now, I just want to show you what my favorite song was. I think he should release new music. And I think it should all be kind of like this vein or even more mature than this. If he released an album with this kind of stuff or even more mature than this, I think this will go hard. I mean, just imagine already tied into the Country Wayne skits. You kind of the ladies' man on Country Wayne on the skits. Like you kind of the ladies' man on there. You know what I mean? So you come in there and you drop an album with all kind of like love, kind of that kind of turn up type stuff where you know, showing admiration for women and desire and passion and all that other kind of stuff. Man, not only would the Country Wayne skits help to promote that release, but the songs from that release would actually help to create brand new skits and a brand new storyline on the Country Wayne skits. Just saying. Creative director hat on here right now. All right, y'all. Here you go. This is the one. I ain't gonna keep y'all on here too much longer. This is the one that was my favorite. This is Mike Bless, and this is called Daydreaming at Night. Let's go.
From somewhere closer than she get. Recognize the smell if ever been around her. You know just what I'm saying. She love to hear her voice. No matter what she saying, I be thinking about her, but she ain't around. And I be thinking about her when I'm laying down. You know I'm thinking about you when you ain't around. And I be thinking about you when I'm laying down. We call that
Hey, that hook with that keyboard, with them keyboard chords, that dun 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 with that hook and the way that it overlaps and this, that, and other. I wondered did Mike write all his own stuff. I'd like to imagine he did, because he kind of did mixtapes and stuff like that too, like I already emphasized. So I imagine he was writing this stuff himself too. But I can tell you what, the construct of his hooks, even if he did nothing else, throughout his career would just write hooks. You know what I'm saying? There's artists right now that made it big just from writing hooks. Hell, I mean, yeah, there's an artist from up north of the border, you know what I'm saying, that pretty much got his start writing hooks. So just saying. But with all that being said, like, even if you just came back into the game just featuring on hooks with people, but bruh, that hook was fire.
Turn the music off. I wanna hear your moans. Tell me all your thoughts.
That was bars. That was bars right there. That's how you could tell he used to be a rapper too. Because he said, let's go a cappella, turn the music off. I want to hear your moans. That was a bar. That was a bar for people that really appreciate that.
What's your appetite? Sure to let me feed it to you. Can I get a bite? That's what I be tweeting to you. You ain't gotta lie. Cause I'm a true believer, and them hoes they could try, but they can never be. You know I'm thinking about you when you ain't around, and I be thinking about you when I'm laying down. We go all my mind, all night. Daydreaming, we call it daydreaming at night. Shit. Or maybe it's the shoes, that's them red bottom furs. Or maybe it's just you, cause I've been thinking about your features and thinking about your frames, and I've been thinking you could be the one to take me out the game. Oh, girl, you something else, cause every little helps. Yeah, I know you independent, but let me buy you something else. Cause I've been thinking about you when you ain't around, and I've been thinking about you when I'm laying down. She been on my mind all night. Daydreaming. She been on my mind. We call it daydreaming. Yeah. She been on my mind. She been on my mind. Somebody been on my mind.
Anybody that knows me knows that.
She been on my mind. Shorty on my mind.
So listen, anybody that knows me knows that the ears over here at Old Heads Media are slightly different. So when I evaluate music and things like that, I listen to not only what you're listening to. I don't always hear the music the same way that you hear the music. I don't always listen to the product that's in front of you. Given why I said this was one of my favorite songs. I was listening to the construct and the arrangement of the vocals. I was listening to the hook, the way the hook was constructed. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, I believe that if more time and more energy were paid into his production team to giving him a more solid sound, I believe that would have elevated him. I even think about timing. Mike Bless, came out in the mid 2000s. I imagine going back to like 98, 99, early 2000. Like maybe just a few years rewind. And he probably would have blown even harder at that time. You know what I'm saying? Late 90s, beginning of 2000 instead of mid 2000s. Had he been picked up by a proper entity and had production dollars poured into him, just a few years earlier could have made all the difference in his career because he had one of those sounds. But I've said this on episodes before about some other artists and even artists who actually made it bigger than what he is. Sometimes it's a whitewashing. I don't mean that in a even in a political term of where the industry is concerned. What I mean is sometimes there's so many damn good artists at the same time that somebody's got to lose out. It just happens that way. It's like being on a good team. It doesn't matter how good you are. There's so many good players on the team. You have to do battle. You got to compete. And sometimes it's all about who's behind you, who's putting what into you, this, that, and other. And sometimes, unfortunately, you don't make the team just on your own skills. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's about who you know and about who's pouring what into you and this, that, and the other. So I believe that sometimes artists like this, and I talked about on other episodes, artists like, groups like Shy, who ended up falling off into the distance. As Yet, who ended up falling off into the distance. Artists like that, they end up not being what they could have been because there was so much at the time. There was so much at the time that they could only put their money behind so many. Some people had to suffer because of it. So he never got the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You got to think, even on his own label. Yeah, he could have been dope. I've seen that happen on labels before. Yeah, he was good at his writing and his vocals, and I'm listening to it and I hear the potential. I hear what could have been. Even at the end when you hear him riffing, you hear what could have been. But even on his own label, you got Trick Daddy, who was taking over the world. You got Trina, who was taking over the world. It's hard to follow that. It's hard to slip in under that. I mean, you think about every major label. You think about, you know what I'm saying? You go back to Irv Gotti, Ja Rule. You had Charlie Baltimore. You had all them. You get so many that come through. And then the rest of them weren't the only ones on those labels. But because the other stuff was taking up so much attention, you know what I'm saying? Only so many people. Def Jam, it happens. Rockefeller, it happened. You got so many artists, and then once 2 or 3 of them blow up, then it's like, okay, yeah, these people are good, and it's okay to hear them on features and stuff like that. But people are so invested, fans are so invested in Trick and Trina, we don't really got time to be checking out the archive of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So they give him his props when he shows up on a feature with Trina, but that doesn't mean that they're going to go digging into his archive. And the label is spending so much money promoting Trick and Trina and a couple of other people that they don't have the money to invest in promoting him. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of little things that go on in the industry. Sometimes it just doesn't happen, and it's not any fault of the artist. Or his gift or his abilities or any of that kind of stuff. Sometimes it just fucking happens. You know what I mean? But like I said, we're in a day now where independence rules. Independents are taking over the game. And now it's not as difficult to access top quality production. Back then, you used to have access to get dope production. Nowadays, you can get production. It's not as hard to get access to production as an independent nowadays. With that being said, now is a time that if he matured the sound of his writing and the type of songs that he's saying, now's the perfect time for him to actually make sure he gets the backing that he needs. And the beauty of where he's at this stage in his life is being affiliated with Country Wayne and being in, the Country Wayne skits and this, that, and the other. The two of them play off each other. He won't even need the backing of a major label to do his promotion because he has in-house access to his own promotion. He literally can push the narrative himself now. So I'm saying, Mike Bless, bruh, I know it's still in you. Like I said, I know as an artist, once it's in, it don't ever leave. I know it's still in you. Just by the fact that you've been singing on some of the skits, I know it's still in you. Go ahead and drop that, bro. Go ahead and drop that. Hey, I done took y'all long enough. This episode been long as hell, but it's been a fun one. Hey, till the next one, y'all. I love y'all. If y'all haven't already hit the like button, please hit that on the way out there. Make sure y'all go support Mike Bless. Make sure y'all go support Country Wayne Skits. And until the next one, peace out.